Oh my god, 2025 was quite an eventful year for Nothing. They started the year with Phone 3F, which was fine, and then they launched their flagship Phone 3, and that became the most controversial phone of the year. And then came the announcement of adding pre-installed apps, and that just shocked everyone. Every move they made created a lot of chatter on the internet. Overall, it has been quite a heavy year for Nothing, but now they're ending the year on a lighter note with all new Nothing Phone 3 Lite. Why tu Girani? The Phone 3 Lite is the most affordable Nothing phone ever, and it starts at just 19,999 with offers. Now, I know that some of you already know about these phones because we have covered them already, so I'll not talk a lot about the phones. Rather, I'll tell you why Nothing is changing so much, what is this new direction that they're taking, and most importantly, why are they doing things that they once were totally against. I'll tell you everything, and it's going to be very interesting. Let's get started. First of all, let me tell you why does this phone exist, because a lot of you have this question, right? Basically, Nothing wanted to structure their entire portfolio with 4 phones on 4 different price points, and this new phone does exactly that. So now there's Phone 3a Lite at 20k, Phone 3 at 23k, Phone 3a Pro just under 30k, and Phone 3 in the premium segment. Next year also they'll have the same lineup, but of course the Lite won't be as close as CMF as it is right now, both in terms of specs and price, and the flagship number series will also be priced better, hopefully. The second question that might be coming to your mind is that what cost cutting were done to make it light on specs as well as your wallet, and the details are hidden right here in this box. See, the 3a Lite comes in a similar looking box as 3a, but inside it's different. It doesn't open like a Nothing phone box. Instead, it's quite similar to the box of CMF Phone 2 Pro. There's no charger inside, but you do get this transparent case, which is nice. Looks wise also, the Phone 3a Lite does not look budget at all. The transparent glass back design easily stands out in the segment, but the glyph lights have been reduced to just this tiny LED at the bottom. Some like it, some don't, but personally I find it pretty clean and minimal. Apart from that, you get the usual plastic frame with matte finish, which feels good in hands. There's a decent IP rating, and you get protection on both front and back. The display is the same as you get on the CMF Phone 2 Pro or the Nothing Phone 3a, which is the standard 1080p 120Hz AMOLED panel, and there's no problem with brightness or visibility. The movies and shows also look good, but I wish it had Netflix HDR support and stereo speakers. But yeah, it is what it is. If I talk about the performance, you get Dimensity 7300 Pro with 8GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB of UFS 2.2 storage in the base variant. These are the scores in Antutu, Geekbench and 3D Mark, and even if I compare it with the Nothing Phone 3a, the difference is not so much. In gaming also, you get 120 FPS in BGMI and 90 FPS in Call of Duty. This is something a lot of phones with even more powerful processors still does not support. In normal usage also, the phone is as smooth as any other Nothing phone, so that's never going to be a problem. Now, the third and the most burning question is about software. What all is changing and why? To be honest, the answer to this question is very simple, but let me explain it to you nice and slow. The Phone 3a Lite comes with Nothing OS 3.5 based on Android 15, and there are 2 big changes this time. First is the lock glimpse, which is basically ads on your lock screen, and second are these 2 pre-installed apps. Even though these things are not as intrusive as what other brands do, you can turn off the lock glimpse and even uninstall the apps, but still none of us expected this from Nothing. See, I think that this is a very cautious business move to sustain for a long run, because Indian smartphone market is very competitive and the margins are very thin. And even if you compare it against any other phone, it's still one of the cleanest out there, but I just hope that Nothing doesn't go beyond this. Now that we have already addressed the elephant in the room, let's talk about the camera and the battery. For cameras, you get a 50 megapixel main camera with OIS, 8 megapixel ultra wide to spread it wide, and a 2 megapixel macro to go close. And on the front, you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera. We clicked a lot of photos from the phone, and the main camera does take some stunning shots, and it's not just the daytime, it's impressive even in night, just like never mind. The bigger sensor definitely helps. The ultra-wide is also usable and comes in handy, but don't expect much detail. And selfies, well, the camera is good at it, but we are not. And since it has OIS, the video is pretty stable. The colors and exposure are also on point. The battery size is the usual 5000 mAh with 33-watt charging support, but there's no charger in the box. And we got around 6 hours of SOT, so it can easily last you a day. In connectivity, you get everything that's required. So that's pretty much everything about the Nothing Phone 3a Lite and the new direction that Nothing is taking. The 3a Lite seems like a balanced phone with a standout design, good display, good performance, decent battery life, and a very capable main camera. Of course, the software has changed, but it's still one of the cleanest phones out there. So yeah, that's that's it for this video. I really hope that I was able to answer all your questions, but if you still have any doubts about the phone or nothing's new direction, feel free to ask us in the comments and feel free to discuss as well, and let's have a chat. Thank you for watching, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.